Welcome to the Coffee with Phil and Jim podcast, where two guys drink coffee and talk about stuff. And now your hosts, Phil and Jimmy Nick.
Make sure this thing's still recording. 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, this is Phil with the Coffee with Phil and Jim podcast in the studio with another episode with my awesome, fantastic, stupendous co-host,
Jimmy the Nick.
And we are excited about some things we're going to talk about today. But before we do, I have to remind everybody a couple things. 1, search, subscribe, and share. Search us up. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Apple Podcast app, and Spreaker app. Check us out. Let us know what you think. Leave reviews. Good, bad, indifferent. Whatever it is. Let us know. And again, if you want to join a conversation or maybe continue a conversation, or maybe it's something like you would want us to talk about on our podcast, you can email us at coffee with Phil and Jim at gmail.com, and that's one complete run-on sentence, no spaces, any of that stuff. Anywho, so, hey, I got a question for you, Jimmy Nick.
Yep.
Do you know what sprinters eat before a race?
What sprinters eat before a race?
Yes.
No.
Nothing. They fast.
They fast. All right. Now we
okay.
Oh, man.
We'll get us on a good foot here.
That's rough.
Get us on a really good foot.
Man.
Oh, man.
What are we going to talk about today?
Well,
it's hot outside. Really hot out there. I mean, it's terrible hot out there.
It is. It's really hot.
July is, that's rough.
The heat index has been crazy.
I know, it's crazy. Let's see what it is out there right now. Heat index right now is 200. No, it's 0. It won't tell me. I hit the wrong button. Well, I know one thing. I don't owe AT&T my bills paid. So.
Oh, that's good.
Right now it says it feels like it's 99 degrees out there. That's out at the fort.
Oh wow.
That's good. It's not 100 yet.
I am thankful for air conditioning.
I love it. Love it.
Gosh.
And it's pretty good. We got I always look 1st of September. It's always hot 1st of September, but that's one I always point towards because after that it starts cooling down.
Yeah, it starts feeling really good.
Starts getting good about mid-September there. So.
Put that light sweater on and go for a good walk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. It's enjoyable. It's the good time of year.
Well, I tell you something. God has been really good to us, and He's been really good to me. We've just moved into our new house, and we're expecting our 3rd child coming in November.
Yeah.
And
it's a girl too.
It's a girl, another girl, so 3 girls. And
house full of girls.
Man, I'm not.
You're outnumbered.
Well, I told Amy, I said, with 3 girls, I'm really gonna have to work on my gun collection even more. So I've been shopping on Cabela's quite a bit.
It's weddings times 3, isn't it?
Yeah. Well.
No, you just had them all get married at the same time. It's so one big wedding.
That'd still be expensive.
Yeah, I know.
That'd still be expensive.
But anyway, yeah, it'd be real expensive.
Gosh. But anyways, it's been good. We've
There's always Elvis.
Yeah. It may come to that.
One of them chapels, you know.
It may come to that. Or I'll just be like, hey, I'll marry you in our living room right here, right now.
Or you can get Travis. Travis, he can dress up like Elvis.
Oh, yeah. I can see him dressed up. I'm not even going to comment on that. Because he listens to our podcast. I am not commenting on that. Okay. You're not trapping me in that, Jimmy Nick.
Not going there.
Nope. Not at all.
Oh, well.
Not at all.
Anyway.
But it's been good. We've had a good time. We went to camp and This next week we go to conference in Texas, and just kind of getting that, and then getting ready for school to start back up on our end. And
When does that start this year?
August 15th, 17th.
It's not that far off.
Somewhere in there. I think it's...
That's quick.
What I can tell you real quick. August 15th, yeah. August 15th is when it starts.
It's not that far then, yeah.
So
You people need to get in them last minute vacations. Get them done. School's starting soon.
that's right. Get what you gotta.
Get it done so we can get back to normal over here at the Highland.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we at the Highland, we're trying to do it. We are the 242 of churches.
Hashtag 242.
That's right.
What you claiming?
Just call us the Highland.
Yeah. I don't know. We've there's been some major changes here. A few things that we've done here that's kind of changed some things up is we changed our music that we do, our praise, to after the message.
Right.
And then we took Sunday school out of Sunday morning.
Right.
We put it in Sunday night.
Yeah.
And then we do more of a discussion type deal.
And I tell you what, it has worked beyond even what I thought might happen there. It's really been something fantastic, what's been going on in our class.
Wait, so you said you had some doubts?
Well, you never know. You try to get a bunch of old people to talk, sometimes, they're too grumpy. But no, we've been having a good time in there,
Yeah.
And it made it more, I think where we're having to that now also, the environment. I say you take it out of that main auditorium and you've got it's a whole different group of people.
Mm-hmm.
It's something like, I guess those that grew up in church, well, you're not supposed to talk in church. So when you ask them a question, they won't give you an answer because they're not supposed to talk.
Yeah, and it's like embedded in their
it's
like,
in their psyche there that this what God's going to get me. I'm talking in church.
And whoever's teaching asks them a question, and they'll what do I do? What do I do?
My mama told me God get me if I spoke in church.
That's right. I'm only supposed to amen and whoop. That's all.
When you made man's in there,
What do you see in some great changes in that? Especially in y'all's group. What do you?
I think in our group, it's not only discussing the subject, but I see where they're starting to discuss more about how it affects them,
right,
and how they feel about certain things, and so you're starting to get a better understanding of your fellow classmates, your fellow members of this church, and I think that draws us closer together because. And somebody says, well, I have a problem with this, or I had a problem, and this is what I went through. You may be helping somebody in there that, is going through the same thing you went through.
Right.
And so this basically has turned into a blessing for everybody in that room. We're all a bunch of old geezers, but, at least we can help each other through this,
yeah.
We still got some life left in us. We want to be used. That's plain and simple.
Yeah. Well, you said it too. You're talking, you're discussing it, but it's to do something with it.
Right.
It's just not learning.
Just being filled up with information.
Right.
And basically that's what basic Sunday school's been. I mean, most places where I went to, is basically it was just information. You didn't come in there and really have an open discussion about how do you feel about this, how does this relate in your life or anything, or can we address anything with this?
Right.
If we just let's talk about Jonah and and the big fish,
Yeah,
that's basically what it was,
Yeah.
And you really didn't take anything that you could apply into life. It was just mainly Bible stories, and that's all right. And then there's always at the end of it they'll put a comment of it. Now take what Jonah did and apply it to your life.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
You're like,
I'm running right now.
At that point, you've already forgotten. Okay, what did we learn?
So I'm supposed to run away and run as fast as I can.
Yeah, that's right. I'm already doing that. Okay, I'm doing good.
I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think too the environment of it. We had Sunday school before worship. Worship. It was. I guess it almost felt like a distraction too, because we come in, it's a Sunday morning, so you come in and you've already expected to do what you're going to do for Sunday school, and then you got to hurry and get to main worship, and for us that are servants that are doing stuff, whether your greeter ministry, like yourself, or I got to get up and get ready and get my mindset on what the first beat is on my drum to the music and all that stuff. And then you get stopped by people. It's just a lot of stuff happening. So when you get into it, it's just like, ugh. And so once it's over, I mean, one, you're exhausted. And then two, you really didn't get much out of it. And you, most importantly, you didn't really put anything into it.
Just kind of went through it.
Yeah. And now we have the it's almost like a decompression because we come in Sunday morning, that's what we do is main worship. That's our focus.
Right.
That's what you prepare your heart for. That's what we're doing. And then to be able to put the music at the end of the message. So plus we got rid of a lot of the fluff too, and like we stopped doing announcements, we stopped doing kind of reports, we didn't, we got rid of all the fluff. We come in.
We don't pass the plate.
Yeah, we don't even pass the plate anymore.
Just put it back here. People, it's up to them to do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
Between them and God.
That's right. And so you just put it back there, and then and so it's more focused. It's more, and when you come in, this is the expectation, and so we get in and we do our thing. The message brings the truth. You allow the Holy Spirit to work, and you're listening. You're talking to Him. You get to the message. At the end of the message, we've been doing the invitation to kind of give that time, but that invitation automatically goes into praise, and at that point, your heart is already in tuned.
Right.
It's already there, and so I think that's been a tremendous deal. And then Sunday night, moving it, it's been more comfortable because I know like the older people that are younger than y'all, they've had their Sunday school, but they've had a taco bar and they've had all kinds of stuff while everybody just brings food, and you do your thing and you just have your discussion questions, and it's been great.
It's been good. It's really been good. So, I know some kiddos down the hall there. They've been getting a pizza every week.
Yeah.
They've been getting a lot of pizza over there.
I know, every Sunday night.
Sunday night, man. Yeah.
Like,
I wasn't there this past Sunday night, but the Sunday before, we had some treats over there ourselves over there. Brought in there. I think JC brought them in there, so I don't know where those came from, but appreciate them.
Yeah.
We all appreciate that stuff.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable. Got me some grape soda. I ain't eaten grape soda in a long time. That's good stuff, actually.
Grape soda is good.
Yeah.
I like that. Remember?
Oh, knee-high.
Yeah, knee-high.
Grape. Yeah, that was some good. You still get it if you go to Pops, I guess. And
in Arcadia?
Yeah, or that place down there in Cowtown, so there in Oklahoma City. So.
What's that place called?
I don't know what it's called. I have to ask Brent about it. But he said there's a place down there that's kind of like Pops that sells all them different pop and different types of colas and everything. I'd try that out. Go down there and check it out.
I like a good cola.
Good cola.
In a glass bottle. It makes a difference.
Oh yeah, real bottle.
Yeah.
Real bottle. Real Coke bottle.
That's right. It's like the Cokes and stuff you get from Mexico. Made with the cane sugar. And
you got the real sugar in it.
Oh man.
Wouldn't it Pepsi one come out with one now that's got the real sugar in it?
Yeah. Pepsi and Mountain Dew, I think too. I think Mountain Dew's got something.
So that's good stuff. It's a lot better.
Yeah, with the real thing.
Yeah, high fructose corn syrup, which is nasty. It's not even good for your health, but we drink it all the time.
Oh yeah, it's in all kinds of stuff.
It's in your bread. I notice a lot of breads have put on theirs. They don't have it in there anymore.
Yeah. And
it's in your ketchups. There's one I think when I get Hunt's that doesn't have it in there. So
has that? Well, that ketchup. I mean, that ketchup's got way more calories and stuff than the French fries you're putting it on.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because of all that stuff.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah, that's right. It's good.
You can do my old trick, put mustard on it. It works.
Mustard, really?
Yeah.
You like the extra little tangy?
Yeah, tangy. When I was a kid, when I was in junior high, actually, we went across the street from our junior high. There was a place called Shields Bookstores where they sold school books and stuff because we were a different kind of school. And actually, it was another store there on the corner, but you could go over and you could get you some burgers and fries and all that stuff for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they served lunch over there, so we'd go over there, you know. And I'd get the French fries. No buddy of mine, you know, he'd see me putting mustard on them, you know. Well, he went off somewhere, and we met up. Actually, worked together after high school.
Really?
Yeah, we worked together. And we would go up someplace and he'd get that mustard out. He said, "You got me started on this." Well, we were in junior high.
Wow.
And he was done.
I gotta try that.
But yeah, that's a tang cut. It's pretty good.
little extra
I like
tang.
it that way. I mean, that's just my own personal stuff.
I'm getting hungry now.
Yeah, getting into fries, French fries.
That's right. Best French fries you've ever had?
Best French fries I ever had. I don't think I've ate them yet. Oh, I don't know. I always liked those up at Johnny's Charcoal there in Oklahoma City.
Okay, yeah.
I like those, I guess, because you get so many.
Yeah, that's right.
They give you a ton of them. And then there was Big Ed's that used to be there that had the super hamburgers. They had the same type fry deal. But Big Ed, he was big, and he had several locations there for a long time. But, I mean, one of them, if you ate the whole thing, you got it for free, and you got your name plaque on the wall and everything. It was the size of a pizza. And you had to eat all the French fries that come with it, too. So one
Yeah.
of them deals, you know. But, yeah, but he made a jumbo burger that was just, a cheeseburger that was just excellent. Big, nice, juicy burger. Good.
That sounds good.
Yeah, double meat. Ooh.
Okay, yeah.
Loved it.
I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, I know.
We have to pray and get
That's
rid
a
of this
real
podcast. now.
burger. Yeah.
That's right.
That's a real burger.
Not that McDonald's junk.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Yeah, that fake meat.
Fake meat.
Greasiness.
Or who has square meat, too? We got a place in town now that sells square meat.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Wendy's all right.
Yeah, Wendy's good. I like Wendy's.
There still ain't no Whataburger here, but
No.
if they end up like, there's a place called Chicago Burger, and they used to have one there on 23rd Street there in Oklahoma City. And if them Chicago people get a hold of Whataburger long enough, you ain't gonna want to eat there. Chicago burgers just aren't like our burgers down here. They may make a mean hot dog sometimes, but they ain't no good at their burgers.
But their burgers stink.
They
yeah.
stink. They're nasty. Yeah, they're terrible.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see
But
how it
anyway.
goes. But anyways, so church is like McDonald's. No, I'm just kidding.
You want fries with that?
That's right. There's the value menu right there to your right.
Really.
We got a special sauce.
Special sauce today.
Oh man, but yeah, we've got a lot of good stuff happening and a lot of changes. God's still.
Well, it's a
Working it
work
out.
in progress, and it's slow, and I think that's been part of my problem. I want to speed it up, and I want to be sped up, but the Lord keeps bringing me along here. He's waking me up in the night, and He's teaching me stuff here in the last few months.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I'm wanting to go do this, and I'm still being told, hold on, because something's getting ready to happen.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's got to be in His time and in that way, so.
Yeah, you're like, come on, I want to do it right now. Let me do it right now.
Yeah. Well, I actually sat down and had a conversation with someone the other day, and we talked about Jesus Christ. And when I got through with it, through the conversation, I thought, wow, where'd all that come from? I mean, literally.
Yeah.
It was like it rolled off my tongue like it had never before. And it was amazing. And I got there, that wasn't me.
That's when you know it's God, right?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
walk away and go, whoa.
That wasn't me. Where'd
Yeah.
that come from? But yeah.
Yeah.
So just wait and see on what happens there. But, you know, that's the Holy Spirit's job. All you can do is tell somebody.
That's right.
You
That's what we
you
do.
can give them the gospel, and, you know, whatever happens. If they come back for follow-up or something, okay, fine.
Yeah.
We'll go that way with it.
There's a divine intersection
Right.
there or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can see what happens with it.
I mean,
But it's something, you know, because you want to go, well, Lord, because I asked Him here about a year ago. I said, Lord, I mean, I want to go out here and talk to these people. What do you want me to tell them? What do you want me to tell them personally about you? Not just what it says. You know, they've got that list of stuff they want you to do, to say, you know,
Right.
here's your cue cards here, you know, these little
Right.
cards, you know, read off these cards. But it wasn't about just telling them about Him, but telling them who He is.
Yeah.
You know, you get too much of that about Christ, but who He is personally.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way you can do that is coming back to that personal relationship. I can actually talk to somebody now where I couldn't years ago. I could tell them about Christ,
Yeah.
but I couldn't tell them who he is because takes a personal relationship to be able to relate that back to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you have emotions and feelings all involved in this. You know, you've experienced him, you've seen him, he's worked in your life, you felt his love and his compassion and his kindness and his just plain mercy, and his grace is enormous. You know, once you in that relationship, you start having that with him, then you really have something to bring to the table besides just what the Bible says.
Right.
Just not just the word, because this isn't just God's word. I'm telling you what's happened to me in my relationship with him.
It's personal.
Yeah, it's personal. And a lot of people, I think it's a lot of people, they need a little card, you know. Well, let me see here.
Yeah, it's like, if you were to die today,
that's a good one. That's always a good way. If you had to die today, do you know where you'd go?
It's like, were you plotting on me? You got a gun in your back pocket? What?
Well, you know something I don't?
Yeah, here's my wallet. Leave me alone, you know.
Get out of here.
That's good.
Crazy. But, I mean, yeah, that's just dumb. Then in that way you're talking about there is that people go off and they start spouting off all these Bible verses, and this person doesn't know anything about Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Doesn't know anything about the Bible. And here you're spouting, and they start quoting these Bible verses, and you hit them with little tracts with Bible verses in them, and and it's the same little thing, and they're not getting anything out of it because you're not being personal about it.
Right.
And like he says, it starts with a conversation. You have a conversation with somebody, then you can go into this. Mm-hmm. But it's got to be personal. And if it's not, you're just going out there. It's like, you've seen the thing with the old guy that's with old Kirk Cameron, that English dude.
Oh, yeah,
whoever he is,
I think he's Australian,
whatever he is, It's all right, I guess, what he's doing and everything. But the thing that gets me, it's always, well, you know what you do.
Right.
And you're throwing a bunch of stuff out there, and you're trying to prove a point, which is tell them the gospel. It's not up to you to convince them. You tell them the gospel. The Holy Spirit will do the convincing if he's convicting that person.
Yeah, and here's a thought to that too, is you've got to live that life as well, right? And so if you're living that life, and so you go tell somebody, they're gonna see some proof in that, as well.
But I go more by, do as I say, not as I do kind of deal.
Okay, like most people today.
Yeah,
Okay.
You know how that works. Just do as I say. I
got you. Yeah.
I mean, see, you're the one that has to do the doing.
I'm just telling you.
I'm just telling you, so you can do it.
Yeah. Pharisee. Hypocrite. Yeah, anywho, I'm sorry, I got something in my throat
there. What was that all about?
A coughing attack. I apologize. Well, that brings up a good question. I got a question. Okay, and this is a good question, a thought-provoking question for our listeners. Maybe you're in leadership in a church. Maybe you're just an average church person. Okay, of course, we don't believe in clergy laity business. We don't really believe in that because there is no clergy laity. We're all ministers. But maybe you don't have necessarily a leadership position or role in your church, but you are a member. And God's general will, obviously, for us is to tell the gospel, like you're saying. We're going to tell people about Jesus, right? We're going to go share the gospel. We obviously got to live that life. But here's my question. Would it be more effective to invite someone to a Sunday morning service, or invite them over your house, maybe with some other people? What would be most effective? What do you think?
What do I think? I think neither one of them. Nah. Just kidding. No, I think you'd do.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. I'd say invite them to the house. Mainly, you can sit down and have a meal with them.
Yeah.
You throw some, you got a house, you got a barbecue grill probably, whip up something on the old barbecue out there, invite them over, in that relaxed state, you can discuss a whole lot of things.
Right.
And you can bring that around and talk to them personally, because it's a personal deal then. Mm-hmm. You break bread with them, it's getting personal there. Whereas in church, you can't bring them to church, they show up what? They listen to the songs, they hear the preacher get up there and preach for God, ours, what, 2 or 3 days?
You're not trapping me in that one again. I'm not commenting. No comment.
But after that, but that's all they're getting.
Mm-hmm.
And they may get us some handshakes and some people, welcome, and this here, and let's fill out a card, and and all this good stuff. But they're not getting what they should be getting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the pastor's responsibility to bring them people to Christ. If instead of just inviting them to church, talk to them before church, before you ever do actually invite them to your church.
Right. I mean, you still would do that, but
you invite them to your church.
We're talking more effective.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Yeah. If they know what they're coming into, and you've already talked to them about it, instead of saying, "Well, I'm going to rely. Come on down here. I'll let the preacher talk to you."
Yeah.
He give you some Jesus.
That release. Yeah, that's right. It releases us from that responsibility in our minds. That
boy, he can talk about that Jesus. Come on down there. I'll let you get you some Jesus, man. I'll let you speak to this man. You may not believe now, but when he gets through with you, he'll done give you a working over.
It's like, I'm never coming back here.
But to get you some Jesus.
Welcome to Give a Lot Baptist Church. Yeah. No. I just, you think about, too, people's thoughts of churches, right? They already have a mindset. A lot of people already have a mindset of what a church is. Whether they've visited a church or two and maybe they've been burnt. So they have that in their mind. Or they have, what they've seen or heard or even what's on TV. I mean, TV is just really, it's not helping the idea of church and things like that because, there's a new show out called, there's a couple new shows out. One's been out for a little bit, I guess. One's called Preacher. And it's supposed to be like this preacher guy that's like I'm an assassin or something like that. Then you have, check this out. Oh, it gets better. Then you have a show called, I saw previews. It's called Good Omen, and it is a angel from heaven and a dark angel from hell.
Yeah.
And they lived on Earth for centuries.
Yeah.
And now the Earth's going to come to an end, but they love living on the Earth and living in the world that they try to save the world instead of letting it being destroyed. And they work together on that.
Okay.
So think about that for a second. So people look at that and see that, and it may be a good drama or thriller or sci-fi or whatever to some people, but so when you invite them into a church assembly time of a service on a Sunday, people already have their prejudged thoughts there, and there's uncomfortableness, right? I mean,
Right.
You come in, you're like, oh, where do I sit?
Don't know nobody. Where do I sit?
Yeah, and if you don't have a friendly church, you're really messed up. You're really not going to retain anybody, because like some churches, you walk into their church and it's like they don't even want to be here.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're like, well, so some of those friendly churches can kind of help with that, but you have these preconceived notions of what church and believers and all that stuff, and so these walls been put up. But if you invite them over to your house, like you said, like a barbecue or something like that, or grill something, you're comfortable, you're hanging out, you're talking about all kinds of stuff. Certainly the Spirit will lead in different directions there and give you opportunities to talk, and you're building a friendship,
Right.
You're building trust, you're building communication, you're building those walls down, even the small ones they put up, because it's a new environment, and then you involve other people in the church into that, so you invite them over, so when they do, they may even say, hey, so what time do y'all get together on Sunday? You may not have to invite them, and they come, and they already have connections.
Yeah, those are people that already know that.
That's right.
They can come in. All right.
That's right.
I just didn't
How'd you come?
coming on dead off the street. I know when I came in, they told me, "Get out, pagan." Pagan. I said, "This is my place." They told me to get out. But anyway,
That's not true.
That's not true. This is a lovely, lovely place. The Highland is a good place. it is a good place. People are wonderful, magnificent people. I love them. You won't find any better group, I don't think, anyplace else.
Yeah.
And it's true. It's fantastic people. So,
Yeah. And we have a wonderful pastor. Pastor family.
Couldn't ask for better. I mean, we've been blessed, and we need to understand he's not feeling well at the present time, and we need to make sure our prayers go out to him. We should pray for him every day anyway.
Right. I mean, we should pray for our leadership.
Because it's a hard, terrible job he actually has, trying to manage all of us sheep.
Right. Oh, thought you were going to say something else. It's like, whoa, let's keep it PG-13 here.
Sheep, you know. What do you think I was going to say? You heard it. Well, I think I'm kind of getting an idea of what it was.
Yeah.
But it would have been true, too.
Yes, it would have.
But anyway.
Been more accurate, I guess.
But it's bad sheep, you know, and we got our own ways. You know how sheep are.
Yeah.
I don't see how anybody can keep them in check.
And, of course, the in this warfare, Satan and all that's spiritual attack's going to hit leadership first.
Oh, yeah.
Because as the leader goes, so do the people, right?
Right.
So and those that are listening, if you've got a pastor, man, pray for him. Pray for his family. Pray for protection and wisdom and guidance and constantly intercede for your leadership there, other pastors and teachers and things like that, because that's...
We ought to always be seeking God's will in everything, too.
Oh, for sure.
Especially seeking out the Holy Spirit to give us that direction and guidance that we truly need in all this. I wouldn't want the job. Not take it takes a special person to do that.
Yeah.
Been called by God to do it.
Right, correct. Yeah, it's a calling.
It's
for
a
sure.
calling. So
it's a calling, and it's...
We've been blessed by our pastor, so it's good.
Yeah, and we, we've got some great people in our church that are disciples, that are following Christ, that are servants, that step up and get dirty with everybody else, and man, that's great. It's great to have, especially when you're fighting this war. It's a war, and we constantly going through these battles, and we have to fight this stuff together.
Well, we talked about in our previous show about people and the relationship with God, whether they believe or not. And I think that's part of the problem we're having in church, is that the devil had a problem back in the day, because you consider how fast the church grew. So what's the one thing, if you want to really bring a stop to Christ's ministry? You try to keep them from believing in Christ, or you just get them to believe. If you can get them not to believe there's a God, then you eliminate the other part.
Yeah.
So he's gone after us through evolution, basically. If I can get them to believe there is no God, then they're not going to believe there's a Christ. And so it's an attack. Evolution is an attack. It's the devil's using whatever means, science and whatever else he can to prove it. And that's what he's using. So, and science has been wrong before, and they're wrong now. So that's all I got to say about that.
We don't go on that rabbit trail, huh?
No.
We'll get some... No telling where that's going to go.
No, but it's basically, I don't have to prove to anybody that God created. I don't have to. He said in the beginning God, and that's it. You take him at his word.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to believe in God, you got to take him at his word. I mean, most people nowadays don't believe the Bible's true, so how do you take him at his word if you don't believe the Bible's true or relevant,
Right.
There's a certain man out of Georgia, old buddy of yours, I guess. That said that Bible isn't relevant. It's not even relevant anymore. And said besides, he said science already proved that the Earth wasn't created in 6 days, and and that most of them miracles he said in there just didn't happen. So now this man's a pastor in a church teaching people that, and there's no use there's no use even for the New Testament, really. No use for any of it. Because if you go through the New Testament, you take out all the Old Testament verses, there isn't much left.
Yeah, that's right.
So
that becomes null and void.
Yeah, you need them to prove
Oh my gosh.
Crazy. But anyway, he's
Yeah.
an old buddy of yours, I guess, from
Yeah.
down south.
From down south, but he's
Way
my
down
buddy.
south.
He's my buddy.
That's a crazy world, isn't it?
No. Yeah.
But,
Yes, it is. All right. Well, we're kind of getting to the end here of the podcast. And just again, want to remind people we want to. Is a conversation. We want to talk about things, and occasionally we'll bring up some things that maybe perk your interest, or maybe you're going through, or things like that. So email us, coffeewithphilandjim@gmail.com. Search, subscribe, share. Look us on Facebook, Instagram. Check us out. Direct message us. Post a review. Get us some of your thoughts. Because, you know, a lot of times when Jimmy, Nick, and I get together and we talk, and we have a lot of things in our hearts, our minds, and things that we've been studying and being taught. And so all things are really fresh. And sometimes we don't... we do kind of get in a groove where there's other things we don't realize. There's other things that we don't know, and maybe you do. And so we want to talk about it. Let's get down to what truth is and what we've got to be as believers, because American Christianity is just tanking it.
yeah.
We are far lame than we think, and we're not doing as well as we think we are. And if you even take just a tiny bit of time and read your Bible, it will show you that is true. And so we've got a long way to go, quite honestly, as churches, American believers. There's a lot that needs to be done. There's still over 7 billion people in this world, and there's a lot of people that don't know Jesus as their Savior and don't have the freedom and the hope and the love that we do. And we have the answers. And how arrogant of us to keep that. How arrogant of us, how prideful of us, and selfish to keep the true message of love and grace and mercy and hope away from people that truly, truly, truly need it. And so we want to keep this discussion going. We want to keep talking about this. We want to. This is part of what we do here at the Coffee with Phil and Jim podcast. And hey, we want to hear from you. And so don't be afraid. Have a little courage and say something. Even if you don't agree, we're not going to hate on you. We're not going to put up post reviews. We're not going to do any of that stuff. We just want to have a discussion, and we will keep it. What's that term? Anonymous. We'll keep it anonymous. If you want. I mean, it's not a huge deal to us. Just that we're actually talking about some things that we need to talk about, for sure.
You know, there's a definite need for all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. You may not agree, may not always be right.
Right.
But if we're not, we'd like to know.
That's right.
So that we can correct.
Yeah.
So, you know, if we have a misunderstanding here and there, so, you know, it's not about us. If some way, in some small way, if we can get a conversation going here that gets action, turns into movement, anything that will grow the kingdom of Christ and spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. Now, that's what we're hoping to do here with this program, and that's why we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're just not sitting around here listening to each other talk. We can do that without the microphone on.
That's right.
You know, we don't need that to talk. So, you know, this is about the kingdom growth, working it out, finding people, bringing them to Christ, and growing the kingdom of Jesus Christ. That's right. what we're doing. That's what we're here for. We're here for no other reason. We might entertain you on the line here a little bit, but, you know, that's fine and dandy. You know, we're supposed to have fun with this, too.
Yeah.
You know, it's not all, you know, business completely, you know.
Yeah.
You know, even Jesus kicked back with the boys, you know. You know he did, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and especially like it was Zacchaeus' house and other places, you know. Mm-hmm. You know, even at the wedding, them boys were serving up wine. You know?
That's another podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
For that one. But it did happen, so it's not my word; it's God's.
That's right.
So, but we'll discuss that even if you want to.
Yeah,
we'll discuss whatever you want to discuss. But, the point is, it's Christ. It's Christ, Christ, Christ. There's one thing, and that's Christ.
Mm-hmm.
There should, before everything in your life, there should be that one thing, and that's Christ.
Yeah.
Then everything else. But you got to have the one thing first.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't, it's never going to work.
That's right.
It's going to be the same, and nothing will change.
Mm-hmm.
Die to self, take up your cross, and follow Him. What's the one thing? It's Christ. You start there, and everything else will fall into place. And that's all I got to say.
That's right. Well, that's good. That's a good way to end. You got something else for us?
Oh, I can play something here. Let's play. I will send this out to Pastor here. And this isn't that one. The one I showed it before. But this in here, I know he likes this dude, man. So this is for him. As you can see, it's having trouble here for some reason.
You have to take your place.
Wait a minute, that ain't it. We'll get back to that in a minute after this.
Brought to you by
Disney, apparently.
Okay. It's a good song.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
All right, that's some Louis Armstrong. I know Pastor loves him some Louis.
Yeah,
so send
yeah.
it out to him. This is Jimmy Nick.
This is Phil. Until next time,
Adios.
see ya.